Well, what do I have here? Could it be the new gaming console, the Wii U? Well, let's open it up and find out. Well, oh, look what we've got in here. It's absolutely nothing. I've cheated you all. I just bought the box. Yeah, you can turn off now. I'm kidding. Wait, stay.
Probably would have kept on guessing, but about that time we crashed into the truck, and as I'm laying bleeding there on the asphalt.
Okay, so here is the black Wii U console, the better of the two. And I'm going to review it today with the help of
JMHD.
Yep. Yeah, this is just going to be a review of the black Wii U. And once I've reviewed the hardware and the software, sorry, then we're going to review the software that came with it, Nintendo Land. And that's where JMHD is going to help.
Yeah, so just a quick side note, as you can see, the Glitch 64 has been smart here and he's put it over the plastic just to keep it, because these things are a massive fingerprint magnet.
Yeah, you can learn that from the Wii U pad, but we'll explain that later. So before I show any actual footage, I'm just going to explain a little bit about the console itself. So as you can see, this kind of looks like the Wii, where, if you can see it very well, there is, well, I'll explain it. There's obviously the power button and the eject button. Now, you can have it much like the Wii, or you can have it standing upright like the Wii U was supposed to. That's where these stands come in, but the white Wii U doesn't come with those, so forget about those if you have the white one. Also, sorry for your loss. So, the difference about this console and the Wii U, I mean, other way around, is that when you have a disc in, it has a light on the top here. So that lets you know if there's a disc there, which is better than the Wii, where I was constantly just jamming discs in because I'd forgotten there was one in there. And of course, there's the power button, obviously. On this console, the sync button right here is actually in a more accessible location, instead of in here with the rest of this stuff, where you'd have to open this flap to sync every controller. It's just on the side here, so it's easy for everyone to just sync it up. As you can see, we've got the usual Wii U port, the USB ports, and also an SD card port, so you can do all your downloads and stuff. I'm not sure what all the purposes of them are, but I'm sure you'll find a lot of things for them. And then, of course, with the Wii U Black console come these little stands, which took me a while to figure out you're supposed to do this with them, since I thought this was supposed to go on its side, but it's supposed to stand up like this. And this is the Wii U. So the black one is 32 gigabytes, and the white one is a lot smaller. I think it's 8 gigabytes, so again, this is the one you want to get. And on top of that, I'll get to the game controller in a bit. I'm just going to explain the cords that come with it, which are still connected to my TV. So this is the HDMI cable. The Wii U is the first Nintendo console not to come with AV cords or composite or whatever. It's just HDMI, which makes sense seeing as it's an 8th generation console, meaning that it has to step up to the better TVs. So it comes with HDMI. It also comes with the power, obviously, which I don't have here. But if you get the black Wii U, again, something that the white Wii U doesn't come with, is a bunch of tangled cords, but inside these tangled cords it's a sensor bar. And for some reason the white Wii U doesn't come with this, probably because it's not as compulsory, but if you want to play your Wii games on the Wii U, which is something you can do, then you need this. Or you can get your old one, but if you don't have that, you're kind of screwed. Anyway, now for the final thing. The gamepad. This is what everyone's wanted to see, I think. So first off, I'll just explain some of the little peripherals on it, then I'll explain the main buttons. So down here you have these speakers down the very bottom here, and you'll see that mine is covered with tape. Now the reason for that is I'm not sure if this is a common problem, but my speaker is acting up. So this speaker here makes a loud high-pitched buzzing noise sometimes, so I got to cover that with tape. I'm not sure if that's a fault of the Wii U or just something that's specific to what I got. But yes, there is a microphone here similar to a DS where you just you know, use that. There's also on the back here, if you can see that, there's a sync button which allows you to sync up a Wii U pad to the Wii U console if you're using a different Wii U controller, or if you've got a second one. I don't know, probably because these speakers are prone to breaking, I guess. What else is there? There is a headphone thing, so you can use headphones if you're, I don't know, if you're in the same room with someone and you just want to play your game and they don't want to hear you, you just put sound in there. And of course there's a volume up here that slides, and there's also a power adapter. Now the Wii U board, it doesn't have batteries. Well, it has batteries, but they're rechargeable batteries, so you have a separate cord to charge this, and it's like a DS. You have to charge it pretty frequently, which can get annoying, but it's not too annoying. And last thing, there's a stylus. Alright, so the buttons are kind of similar to an Xbox 360 controller if you just put a big screen in the middle of it. So as you can see, there's all the A, B, X and Y's. There's two of these, yeah, there's two of these pads here, you know, the left and right triggers, and there's also a D-pad on both of these, start and select on both of these, and they also both have home buttons. So I guess the Wii U took a lot of, I don't know, ideas from the Xbox 360, but kind of made it their own. This is also the first Nintendo console to actually have 4 back buttons, to my knowledge. You've got the normal L and R's, and then you've also got LZ and RZ. So these are like your Z buttons. This is used frequently for the 2 games I have, except one of the games I have, they're interchangeable, the LR and the ZR sort of things. So, I don't know, there's probably more games that can be used with. And the last thing on this that I have to talk about is the TV control. Now, the Wii U can be configured so that you can use this as a TV remote. I'm not sure how that works. I haven't used this for a TV remote, but I'm sure that there's a video out there somewhere explaining that. Anyway, now that I'm done talking about that, let's start looking at the actual software. Okay, so when you start up the Wii, you'll notice that the TV won't turn on first, but the gamepad will. So you can see here, there's the Nintendo logo, and yet it's still not loaded. Now, to help with the software, John's Macintosh HD, and there's the Wii U symbol, right there. So, at the start, you'll find that there's a select a user. Now, you can have your user, you can have other users, but the main problem is that you can have well, not a problem, but you can have passwords on them, and that's a good thing. The problem is that you have to put the password in constantly, like all the time. Every time you start up with a Wii U, you got to put the password in. You go back to the home menu, you've got to put the password back in. If you switch between the Wii menu and the Wii U menu, you got to put the password in again. It gets a bit tedious, especially if you have like a 12-word password like me. 12 letter. You know what I mean. Now, immediately, what you're going to see is 2 different screens. Now, over there on that screen is just a bunch of people online running towards what game they're playing or what they've played lately. On this screen, you have all your Wii options. Now, I can throw this on the screen by pressing X and swapping them around. So now the menu's up there, and the other thing that I don't know how to explain is here. Only problem with that is that if you want to use the menu, but you want it on the TV, you can't do that, because every time you try and maneuver, you maneuver on this. You can't do anything up there. So you've got to bring the menu back, then select what you want, and then bring it back up. Sometimes you have to click it twice. That's a little annoying as well. But I just went into the system setting to show you. I'm not going into the system settings. But it will take that long to load. This is a good time to show the loading times for all this stuff that you go on. Now, this is the same for everything. No matter what you do, this is how long it takes to load. Not that long, but times that by every single time you want to put something on or play a game. Yeah, a little tedious. But I'm not saying it's not worth it. Don't take it the wrong way. So now I'm going to explain all the stuff that's on the Wii U, and then I'm going to get into the game with John's Macintosh HD, and yes. Anyway, John, while I'm doing this, what were your first reactions to the Wii U? Like, any comments on it?
I mean, the first reaction to my Wii U is it's a huge, upstep from the last normal Wii. And I mean, since then you've had like the DSi, 3DS, etc. But I think adding the HD sort of feature to it just really brings a whole new kind of perspective. It's kind of like Nintendo's kind of upgrading themselves a little bit. But I think the gameplay and like some things you're right, they are a bit tedious, but I mean you can work on that. So
yeah, thanks for your input. Sorry to put you on the spot like that, but
no, it's alright.
Alright, so the problem with this is I can't really show you what I'm selecting on the screen because of the aforementioned switching. But that shouldn't be too bad to worry about. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the good old-fashioned back button. Okay, so now I'm going to choose the Mii Maker. Making Mii's. Just gotta give it a sec. There we go. Jumping Mii's in the air. Now you have, the Creator Mii and Selector Mii, that normal sort of stuff. So, on top of that, you can send and receive Mii's from the Wii, like your old Wii or your 3DS console. And you can also QR, like you can find a QR image, those little squares with the funny patterns on them. You can find one of those with a Mii on it. You can take a picture of it and then, make a Mii out of it. So, as you can see, my Mii's are up there. Good looking group. And, yeah, I'm going to show you just simple things you can do with a Mii. So, first thing, just like the 3DS or the Wii, you can make one from features or you can make one from a photo. Now, I'm going to show you the photo one, but don't laugh at me, because this comes up with some pretty silly suggestions. It's not good for accuracy, but it is good for a laugh. So, I don't know, let's just do that then. What could go wrong? So, before you take a picture, you do have to select your skin tones, your eye color, your hair color, and yeah, you know what, I'm just going to leave them the normal hair. There's no time to explain. You take a photo. And there's my ugly face on the screen right now. So it's going to make something out of that. And there you go. He's a little dopey looking, but And then you can customize him slightly. Oh god. So yeah, you can create little abominations of your own. So that's cool. You can retake. Now it does have good facial recognition. I will give it that, because it knows when something's an actual face and when something's not a face. Like you can try, I got a Stewie doll, I got a Homer Pez dispenser. That stuff doesn't work. So it does know when it's being tricked, which, is a sign of that they're trying. So let's say I wanted him. You can then customize anything you're not happy with. So you can give him a bolder looking chin, you can give him reggae style hair, etc, etc. And you can all with this stylus. So I'm going to quit this, because this is just, we got a lot more stuff to cover, and I want to do it quickly. Also, this is the loading screen you're met with every single time you close out of an app too. It is reminiscent of the old PS1 and other sort of disc setting, loading times, but all the pros of this are what greatly outweigh those of the cons. So, first, there is a YouTube app. Now, this is useless because there is there's an internet browser that you can freely go on. And I'm going to show you the internet browser because there's some cool features on there. The first cool feature is that you can press X, and that gets rid of, like, there's what I'm viewing right now. So let's say I want to go onto YouTube. There it is, there's YouTube. And then let's say I want to look at a video that I don't want people to see me looking at. Pervs. I'll close that down and look at it without you guys watching. Hey. That's one feature. Now, this is a great improvement over the Wii and the 3DS because the internet is much faster. It's as fast as your actual connection, unlike the Wii and 3DS that kind of ran off their own program and was much slower. This is fast, and apart from the fact that some stuff is limited, like you can't go on your email or stuff like that, because it's not an actual browser like Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, any of those. But it's a good little feature, and it's much better than the YouTube app because you can go on other video viewing sites like, well, I'm sure you saw the Nostalgia Critic app that's on there, and there's that, and there's a lot of other stuff too. So, let's get out of here. Now, the menu for a second, it makes a lot of the same noises as the Wii, that's pretty cool, but it also has all these things that you can do. There's the friend list, the Miiverse, and Nintendo eShop, which doesn't have a lot right now because it's new, but it's still pretty cool. And all this other stuff, download management, manual. I don't know who would ever click on manual, but you know, it's there. Alright, so I've talked enough about that. There's only two more things I want to go over now. The Wii menu and the actual software that came with it, Nintendo Land. Now, this is what makes it a 2-in-1 console. You click Wii menu, and this is where the sensor comes in. So now, we find ourselves a Wii remote, much like this one, except with a back. That's better. And now this is also where the sensor comes in. Let's see, grab your sensor bar. And then you find out this is player 2, so you gotta go back to the one without the cover. And there we go. It takes you away from the Wii U menu. Out of every software in there, it takes you to a completely new console, basically. Now, it does take a long time to load, so you will be staring at a black screen for a little bit. There we go. Now, it's basically a Wii console. I mean, okay, so you've got the game in there, you've got Mii channel, which actually you need to make separate Miis for both of your channels, which again is, you know, they're two different consoles. You know, you've got your Wii Shop, your manual, the Wii menu. You got system transfer as well if you want to take stuff off your Wii and put it onto the Wii on the Wii U. That sounded weird. But
so I mean, any like downloads you got on the Wii, you can actually transfer it to the Wii U.
Yeah, if you've got anything like, you can get the SD card that you had from your old Wii and put it into that one. Or if you had games on the actual main page, yeah, you can put those on there. That's pretty much what that does. I haven't tested it yet on my Wii, but I can safely bet that that's what that is. However, I like to keep my two consoles separate because if one breaks down, I've got a backup. And yeah, then you can go back. So yeah, it's definitely a 2-in-1 console for that reason. The fact that you can switch in and out and the other consoles don't have to clash with each other.
Another interesting fact is, Mike, can the Wii U play with normal Wii games?
Yes. However, to play the normal Wii games, you do have to go onto the Wii channel. You can't go onto the Wii U channel and play them. You need to actually go to the Wii channel. But yeah, you can play all the great classics like Super Mario Galaxy 2, Big Beach Sports, and the other crap, I don't know. Okay.
And the Wii Fit is also compatible with this?
Yes. All your Wii accessories should be compatible with it. In fact, Nintendo Land does use Wii remotes with the Wii Motion Plus. Sucks for me because I never got a Wii Motion Plus, but it's good for those people that have it. So, enough of this. Now for what you all came to see, sort of. Is Nintendo Land any good? And to test that out, John's Macintosh HD is going to come with me.
Yep.
Alright, so we're just gonna have this on the screen. It's a bit scary to me, but probably not. Now again, you can see it does take a long time for games to load. It doesn't have the start or go back to Wii menu option. It just, if you click on it, then there you go. Okay. And every time you play, you gotta calibrate. Okay. So here is the main area. You use the gamepad to maneuver where the camera goes. Use LZ or RZ to jump, and yes. Now you can pick games. So Nintendo Land is basically 12 mini games, and we're going to show you all the ones we can without using the Wii Motion Plus and without taking too much time. So me and George JMHD, I'm going to show you a couple of quick things like Mario Chase. We'll probably edit some of this out, but you know.
And as you can see, this goes up to 5 players, I believe it said.
Yep, 5 players, so 4 Wii remotes and the Wii U gamepad. This is player 1 still. It's annoying.
Oh, yeah. I have another question. So I'm guessing the GameCube controllers are not compatible with the Wii U, are they?
No, they've taken away the GameCube compatibility. So if you want to still use your GameCube stuff and you don't have an actual GameCube, keep your Wii. Don't go out and sell it for like 20 bucks because you got this now. Anyway.
Which actually might make it a little more difficult to, when the new Brawl game comes out, it might make it a bit difficult for the ones who use the GameCube controllers.
That is true. It's going to be a big adjustment because you've either got to use the Wii controls or this big jumbo ass thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, that could take a lot of getting used to, I guess. I thought that, you know, a lot of people think that the Wii U gamepad's going to be really awkward to control, but once you've actually held it and played it, it's not that awkward to control, I have to say. It's, you know, you can't use one hand like you can with the Wii controller, but yeah, it's still good. Now, for this game, Mario Chase, he gets his instructions, because he has the Wii remote, through the TV, and I get my instructions through this. So now I'm going to try and show the contrast of, you know, what happens. So you got to press those, it's like Wii bowling, you got to press A and B. So as you can see, the controls are different. So I have to run on this. Now you can see here that there's a map, and also you can see where I'm running. Now Toad has to find me, but he doesn't get a map. He has to find me without a map, which means that he has to rely on these Yoshis who are telling him what direction to go. Now the Yoshis can hit the player so that the other player there has more time to do things. Once the player is caught, the game ends.
And you also press 2 to tackle. So right then I just accidentally bumped into them, but you can actually tackle them properly.
Yes. Here's another feature. You can actually have a camera, and we'll play this one more time.
Yep.
Just a quick one to show you the camera feature. Now this feature is in a lot of the games here for the person using the Wii pad, so we'll just play again. I'll just keep using the gamepad. You can actually swap who's using the gamepad without having to change Mii's. You just say play again. I should have chosen a different map, but there are 3 maps. You can unlock them quite easily. Just play the previous map and it unlocks the next one. Now on the top right of the screen, oh, now it's down here. So you can see me now. That's where I am. So yeah, the other person, there's face cam, so you can face cam all your stuff. It could be good for videos. Good. Alright, so now you've seen a little bit of one of the games. I should explain that these games are broken up into 3 sections. So these 3 games here are the team attractions. Those are the ones that can be played single player or as a group. These usually have more than one option to play the game. There's one that needs I think there are 2 that needs the Wii Motion Plus. So right now there's only one I can play with friends, which sucks. There's also these 3 which are competitive attractions. Now these cannot be played single player. This one here, the N one, also needs the Wii Motion Plus. So I'm kind of limited to those 2. And all these ones down here, these 6, those are solo player attractions. Those are just ones you play when you're bored, lonely, or if you don't have a choice. So, we're going to show you a couple more. We're going to show you another one from the competitive attractions, the one we can show you from team attractions, and then we're going to do about 3 solo attractions just to show you the idea. And then you can decide from that whether you would like to play this or not. And then I'm going to give my final verdict on the Wii U as a whole. So, let's start. So Mansion, Luigi's in it. Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion's in it. Haunting Hijinks, is that the subtitle? It's got the actual Luigi's Mansion music. That's cool. Okay. So, we'll have 2 players. I'll be using the gamepad.
I'll be using the Wii remote, just the normal one.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you one level of this. As you can see, I'm a ghost and John is Luigi.
And I have actually not played this game before, so.
Okay. All you need to know is that I'm going to be invisible to you. Okay, so this game, I am invisible on the TV screen as the ghost, but I can see myself on the gamepad. Now what he has to do is he has to somehow try and find me and then hold down 1 on his remote to shine a light, which will vanquish me if done enough times. Now, the only indication that he'll have that I'm there is that his Wii remote will rumble as I get closer. Now, the torch does run out of battery, but he can get power-ups, so that's good for him, not so for me, because he'll have allies. Shh. There's also a creepy robot in this game. I don't like it.
Okay. And what do I do with 2? Nothing? Or?
That's to sidestep, but I've never found that useful. So, there's me on the screen. Cool, now when lightning strikes, he can see me on the TV. And he also has 3 computer allies, which can help him too.
So what am I aiming to channel out of you, and that's it?
Yeah. You have to do it all at once though. And my goal is to try and get you. Like that. Now I have to do it 3 times and he has to get my health from 100 to 0. Oh, like that damn computer was doing while I was explaining. How dare they? Oh, they're still doing it.
I cannot see him at all. This is a really good game.
Yeah.
Oh
no, he got me! Get out of there!
What the heck?
So, I'll show you guys my screen. It's a bit out of focus. It's very out of focus. So I can play like this. So as you can see, I hide in there.
Trying to sit underneath the camera and aim.
Nah,
Hold on,
I'm just showing him. So you can see my ghost there, and all the allies are trying to find me, but I can see them, even though they can't see me. So basically on my screen, what I can see is this infrared sort of thing. Something that he can't see. Now it's pretty close. I'm only at 21 health and I only need 1 more capture. Like that.
Damn.
And that. Ghost wins. Good night. Attractions, I think. Yes.
Yeah, my favorite game.
Donkey Kong's Crash Course. Now, out of the people I've had come over and play this, everyone loves this game. This is the game that always comes up.
Alright. So first of all, we'll show them what's on the actual TV, and then we'll do what's on my screen.
Yeah. Well, actually, you can show them what's on your screen just by pressing up here.
Oh, okay.
So they can see what you're seeing. But first, show the overview.
Yeah.
So, yes.
one of the as Mike said earlier, one of the best things about the Wii U is the accelerometer inside of it. So when you tilt it and all the other things like.
Yeah. Okay, so what the person with the TV could see, if you can zoom it back out for a second, that's what they can see. They can see the whole map. But there, zoom in, that's what he can see, a more zoomed in version.
And all I'm doing here is just tilting the
controller, I guess. Now, so this game is an obstacle course. Basically, you got to tilt back and forth. You got to press L. You got to press R. You got to rotate the R and L sticks. You got to blow on the microphone. All of this to get through the course. And the faster you get through the course, the more points you get at each checkpoint. Now, the winner on the leaderboard is not whoever gets through the most checkpoints necessarily, but who can get through the checkpoints that they've gotten through the fastest, ergo getting more points. However, getting through another checkpoint doesn't hurt. It's definitely not. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that he was holding the controller too flat. The game doesn't like it when you hold the controller too flat. I always crash there. Rotate the L. See, that's how you gotta rotate the L stick. Oh, he's stuck. You press Y to go back.
Oh gosh.
So, yes, it's an obstacle course. It's a fun game that if you have a lot of people over, you take turns and compete with. This is probably the most party-ish solo game. This is a solo game that you actually want to play when you have friends over. Now there are plenty more of these, but there are some games that are kind of just left to solo.
No. Alright, last life. I can do this.
To say what this is one of the best solo mode is probably an understatement. This is probably the most flushed out in regards to the way that the Wii U can sense its own surrounding, basically.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that makes it so exciting is that the whole competition part. So you've got a leaderboard and all that sort of stuff.
Mm. And as you can see, there are comments on the game throughout all over the world. So we've got some kid from Toronto, Canada, saying that Area 9 is really hard. And we've got some guy from California also talking about Area 9. And Andrew from New York. Yeah, a lot of people. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more good one, and then I'm going to show you one that I don't think is so good, and it's personally what I think is the black sheep of these games. You know, apart from the ones that you actually need the Wii motion sensor, that sucks. So, this is a pretty fun game. Captain Falcon's Twister Race. That. So, I'm going to play this one. Alright, so the gimmick with this is it's F-Zero, basically. But the real gimmick of it is that you have to hold in a funny way. You have to hold the Wii U remote like this. Up like this. And you've got to tilt it to go which direction you want to go. So, now that you know how that works, I'm going to focus. Now, before we focus on TV, this is a bird's eye view down shot, and it's much different from what I'm going to show you there. However, if you want to see this view, I suggest that you go and either look at the video or buy the game yourself. Anyway, you focus on the TV. This is F-Zero. So basically, you tilt this back and forth, and you basically race. There's me in the camera. I forgot to turn that off. See, there's a button to turn that off. Now you can hold down to brake, but I suggest you don't, because you're on a pretty short time limit as it is. Now I'm only going to show you a couple of areas of this, and then I don't know. You might want to take over?
Yeah, okay.
It's a pretty addicting game. Now, because I was explaining and doing all of that, I almost ran out of time there.
Messing around with the camera actually does screw you up a lot.
Yeah. Because you get distracted by my smiling face.
So I think most of the games in the Nintendo land are a lot of obstacle courses. Am I right?
A little what?
Obstacle courses.
Yeah, in a sense, they are. And little addicting obstacles. Now, the weird thing about doing this with the FGO is that your hand is constantly blocking as you're trying to turn, and then all you see is this bright lights. Oh god, oh make the camera stop spinning. I'm upside down. I'm too distracted. I am doing horrible. Now for what I think is sort of the black sheep of all the games. I mean, it's not a bad game, but it's not as inspiring. Now you're thinking Balloon Trip. What could be bad about this? Balloon Trip is awesome. Yeah, back in like the 90s when I was on the NES. They haven't really done much to it. It's a great classic game, but that's about it. I mean, it's got improved graphics, but it's not the whole game either. It's sort of this weird hybrid of sort of the game and sort of an improved version of the game that's not really improved. But what really kills it is the controls and how you're supposed to use the pad and the TV collaboratively. That was a horrible pronunciation of that word. So, here's the thing. This is completely zoomed out, right? Okay, no, I don't want to hear you creepy robot person. Don't like her. So, there's a zoomed out version there, but the zoomed in version is on the Wii U pad, right? So you get a zoomed in version. Now, the Wii U makes it very clear, don't look at the zoomed in version. Why even have a zoomed in version if you have to look at that? Why not make that the zoomed, I don't know. But you switch this back and forth to make the breezes, and it's kind of weird to control. I don't know, it's just, going all over the place right now. But I still don't understand why they had to make it so that the Wii U pad just showed a zoomed in thing you're not even supposed to see. There's this wall here that you can't pass on the Wii U pad, and it just looks stupid when it's not on the TV. And it's just not as good as the other games. I mean, it's got its charm, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is a horrible game, it's just weird. Look at that, now I'm mini, now I'm dead? What? What happened? All in all, it's an okay game, but that's it, just okay. I guess it's trying to showcase what the Wii can do, but it's not really. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that game. The rest of the games you can see for yourself. It's time for my final verdict. So, what do I think of the Wii U and the games with the Wii U? It's decent, it's good. It's maybe not what we were thinking of the future of consoles. I mean, giant ass pads with screens inside them. But Nintendo paved the way for innovation. The Wii, this thing. This was new back when it came out, and then the PlayStation Move and the Xbox Kinect came out. Maybe the PS4 has a giant screen like this. Probably not, but you know, we don't know. Nintendo's always there trying to make something new, and maybe it's getting ridiculed, and maybe it's not as great as it used to be. But I can feel that there is good potential for this thing, and I know that it could become a great console. Anyway, as for all the stuff in it, the web browser is really great, all the little apps for it are great. The loading times are kind of but you get over that. This is a great party game. It's like Mario Party standards of how good of a game this is, just for the laughs of it all. And there are other great party games that we haven't even gotten around to yet. But I reckon, give this enough time, give it a year or two, wait for the novelty to wear off, and you'll find that this is still a good quality console. And I reckon between the Wii U, the Xbox 360 and the PS3, no one's going to find a definitive winner, but this is a good contender, I think. It's definitely a good console, and I definitely recommend getting one. So that's my verdict, the Wii U. It's pretty good, and a lot of people making fun of it out there just think it's a giant-ass screen controller, but it's a lot more than that, I think. But you can't find out unless you try it for yourself. thanks for watching. I hope I've given you a positive outlook on the Wii U, or a negative one. I'm not sure. But either way, I hope you're not on the fence about it and you're either thinking of picking one up or just, you know, leaving it alone. But I definitely think it's a good buy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you had fun. And if we do another review, then we will. Bye. Okay, so I've accidentally pressed the back button. You know what I gotta do now? I've gotta go and I've gotta put the password back in. This is unbelievable. That just gives you an example of what it's like. Scratch for now.